welcome everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for our March virtual user group. Today, we are going to be talking to you guys about reimagining your analytics and migrating to the WebFOCUS Hub. We have Alex and Anuja with us today, who will be your presenters. They've got a great presentation lined up for you and a lot of really cool things to show you guys. So I hope that you find today's material valuable and interesting, and don't be shy with questions. Ask your questions today. We're here to answer them. A couple of housekeeping before we dive in. Just as a reminder, the webinar is being recorded. So you will receive a copy of the recording tomorrow, along with any presentation material that Alex and Anuja shared today. I will send that along in my follow-up email to you guys. If you have any questions for Alex or Anuja during the course of their presentation, please utilize the Q&A feature and submit those questions there. We will be monitoring the Q&A throughout the presentation, and we will be happy to get those questions answered. So feel free to submit those at any point. And so with that, we will go ahead and kick it off. I'm going to go through a couple of resources that are available to you guys. As always, just as a reminder, to let you know what is out there readily at your fingertips if you need or are looking for anything IBI related. So with that, it's going to lead us straight to the IBI.com website. I hope you guys are utilizing our website for all of your IBI needs. Out there, you are able to find everything from our upcoming IBI events to the resource library, to any of our blogs, our documentation site, data sheets. You're able to access support out here. You're able to go to the e-delivery. You're able to also access the IBI community and soon to be the IBI education. So again, this is kind of your one-stop shop. I hope you guys are utilizing the IBI.com website. As I mentioned, you can access a direct link here to our portal, a support portal by support.ibi.com. Out here, you are able to, again, access documentation, put in tickets with support. The product downloads are available out here, and any useful links that you may need or are looking for, you can find through our support portal. So you can access this through our website. And also the e-delivery, if you're looking for the product to download, you can do that out here through the e-delivery. It does still say tibco.com downloads, but this is for IBI, so please don't let that confuse you, but you can use the e-delivery portal for your IBI downloads. The events, as we mentioned, are out here as well for all of our upcoming IBI webinars, the Focus Fridays, the virtual user groups, and any other webinars that we are putting together will be posted out here, along with our in-person events. So we do have one posted now, and I'm going to talk about it here in just a second. And then for those who are looking for past webinar recordings, you can find that in our resource library, the on-demand section, where we do post all of the former Focus Fridays and virtual user group recordings. So if there was a month that you missed or one that you would just like to refer back to, you can find those recordings in the on-demand section. So speaking of in-person events, our IBI Summit Roadshow, this is a very exciting roadshow this year because it is 50 years of IBI. So we're super excited. We'd love for you to join our Golden Summit. Save the date, October 14th in New York. Registration is now open. When I send this presentation out, you can utilize this link, or you can just go out to the IBI.com website in the in-person events and click the link there. So registration's open. We'd love to get you registered. Start making those arrangements to get to New York and come see us and celebrate 50 years of IBI with us. Agenda details are coming soon. We are actively working on an agenda. It is going to be a great agenda. We're going to have something for everyone. There will be multiple tracks available so that everyone, whatever product that you are using, there will be something for you. So we're super excited about this, guys. It's 50 years of innovation, 50 years of IBI. It is our Golden Summit, and we do hope that you all will be able to join us in New York. So stay tuned for more information as we are rolling it out, but registration is open. The IBI community, if you have not joined yet, head out there, join it. This is a great, great resource that's available to you guys. There you can get connected with your IBI experts and your IBI other users, so your peers out there. There are a lot of great conversations going on in the forum, a lot of questions asked. We've got our IBI experts out there engaging with you guys and answering some of those questions. We have our experts posting articles, very knowledgeable, very valuable articles for you guys. So if you're not a part of the community, I highly encourage you to sign up and get in there. If you have any trouble getting in or what access you need, feel free to shoot me a note, and I'm happy to help you get involved. As I mentioned, the articles by our IBI experts are out there, easy to find also by searching by product. So it's very user friendly. So make sure that you go check out and see what's available. Quick IBI education update. We have been talking about IBI education coming now for several months, and I'm happy to say that we are literally in the home stretch. Like within a week, we are going to be launching this to you guys. And so we're super excited about it. It's been a long time coming, and you guys have been asking for it. Right off the bat, coming out when we launch this, you're going to have 47 courses available. So we have courses around WebFOCUS analytics, the mainframe, and data intelligence. So that is going to be right there at your fingertips once you log in. New courses will be added each quarter. And so there will constantly be new things coming each quarter to keep you guys in the know and up to date. Existing users, we will be migrating you based on your activity from previous education. And then new user registration will be coming with the launch. So like I said, we are in the home stretch. Within a week, you will be receiving all of the information on how to log in and the links and all of that fun stuff. So be on the lookout for that. There will be an email that is coming out to you guys. But I'm happy to say that we finally made it. We are here, and we are excited to roll out our education. Getting social. If you guys are out there on social media, we'd love to connect with you. So if you are on LinkedIn, X, or YouTube, please give us a follow. This is where you can stay in the know with all things IBI. And on our YouTube channel, we also post recordings of webinars out there as well. So we have them on our website, and then we also have them on our YouTube channel. If you are not receiving any of our invites or our monthly newsletter, please let me know. We do send out a monthly newsletter, and then of course all the invites that go to all of our webinars and events. So if you're not getting those, let me know so I can make sure that you are on our mailing list so that you can stay in the know of what is coming from IBI. Lastly, the WebFOCUS upgrade program. I'm just going to quickly touch on this for Hannah. So for those of you who have not yet moved into WebFOCUS 9.3, there's no better time than now. So you will get access to everything that you see in today's virtual user group, excuse me. Plus you're going to get tools in the WebFOCUS Designer, the new Report Caster, and the new AI engine. So all this is in WebFOCUS 9.3, and we'd love to get you guys there and to upgrade there. So part of this program, sorry, my thing's not moving. There we go. We've had many requests from you guys for a guided path to go through this program and get to the newest version of WebFOCUS. So that's why we have built this WebFOCUS upgrade program. It does give you the tools for that smooth pathway to the latest release. And so this starts off with our discovery tool that will provide you with an overview of your environment and a self-assessment, providing you with that initial scoring of where you guys are, right? And so once you have completed that part, then you get access to a free workshop who we will partner with, you will partner with our partner, Amtex, to go through that tailored upgrade recommendation. So we are with you every step of the way, and we are looking forward to working with you. So if you are interested or want more information on the upgrade program, you can either reach out to Hannah Knox directly, or you can go to the link here and register for the program via our website. So if you want more information, let us know. And with that, I'm going to flip it over to Alex, and we're going to get started with migrating to the WebFOCUS Hub today. If you guys have any other additional questions about anything I talked about, please feel free to shoot me a note. All right, Alex, over to you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Shay. So Today we are going to be talking about the hub, and specifically some of the changes that we made from our previous home pages as we, oh, I'm sharing the wrong screen. As we updated through to the current hub homepage. So we're going to show you how to use some of the same options that you had in the previous home pages, how to access some of those interfaces. And I think you'll find that we've made a lot of stuff more convenient, easier to locate, and generally fewer clicks to get to most of the most common options. So, and we grouped a bunch of the similar options together that used to be in various different places. So we'll be going through all of that, how to navigate the hub, how to find those items. So, but on a basic level, and obviously we'll be showing the hub, so you'll see how all this was done. But we've broken it up into several different views that you can access from the sidebar, and that includes stuff like reporting server features and administration features, as well as reportcaster features that used to be in completely separate windows that you needed to open and access separately. So to start with, Anuja's going to give a quick summary of some of those first options.
Yes, thanks, Alex. So I'm going to start with sharing my screen. Give me a split second. Sorry, just a sec.
Yeah, let me know and I can share too because I got my hub running.
Yeah, hang on. I just need, I think I need to exit the meeting for a split second, or let me just, sorry about this. We'll be with you guys in a second. Shay, would it be possible for a second if I could quit and rejoin again?
Uh,
Right.
sure, Alex, is there something that you can
Yeah, I can also just share. I can
fill in here?
yeah, no problem.
I'm having an issue with the screen sharing permission, so it'll just take me a split second. I could
Ah,
join
okay.
back. Yeah, that's
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just as an intro to going over that. Just as a warning, I've got some like very extreme like white labeling going on. So when I show mine stuff, we'll have like a lot of our white labeling features. So just as like maybe some ideas of how much you can actually like transform the hub through white labeling. But at a general level, kind of like just describing the changes that I mentioned earlier. We have a sidebar over here on the left that we'll be using to like access the various different areas of the hub. All these features are things that you'll probably be familiar with from previous iterations of the homepage as well. So while we did add a bunch of new features to the hub, it's also like your familiar features that you're already used to. So we moved a few things around, but for the most part, like all the same sets of options and behaviors are available in the same places that you might be used to from our previous home pages. And we'll be comparing that to the legacy homepage. Those of you who used 8.2 and prior releases will probably be familiar with this one. I think we introduced our first non-legacy homepage, maybe like 8.202, 8.203. Trying to remember how far back that was, but so if you're still using this one, we'll show you how to access some of those same options in the hub that were available here, and what the differences are. And then this is our we called this the new homepage at the time, but now it's not as new anymore. And we'll be showing some of the differences there. So um, in a lot of ways, we've kind of like brought a lot of the options that you had to like go outside of the homepage for into the hub. So you'll see how to get to the security center, admin console, and server stuff from the hub and how convenient it is. But yeah, that'll be the general plan. Um, Let me just check back because I'm like sharing my screen. Did you get everything figured out, Anuja?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Like, is my screen visible?
Yep.
All right, cool. So here we are in the hub, and this is our brand new hub. We've got the main change that we have here is a new sidebar, like Alex was talking about. Here we have our home plugin, the workspaces, and the integrated reporting server console right here in the hub, from where you can see all your master files, access everything, use your plus data button where you can create multiple workflows and start your different processes. You could right click here on the master file, and you have the ability to create a flow from right here in the hub right now, and it would redirect you to the reporting server where you could start your data flow process. And coming back to the hub, in here, you could also, we have a few brand new DSML features where from right here, you could create new insights, and you can launch Designer from the master file right here itself. Apart from that, we've got a brand new management center. And in the plus menu, we've got a few designer options that you can create your reports and visualizations from. You can get your data from right here, manage your connections, and it's more streamlined now. You could upload your files, manage your adapter connections from right here in the plus menu. And we have brand new DSML features that's called Explore Data. Over here, what you could do is you could select your file that you would want to explore, and you could generate insights. We've got instant insights where you get key insights about your data without having to manually generate reports. And in here, you could ask a question about in plain English without having to type SQL queries and get charts and results about your data sets. It's a really good data analysis for non-technical users. And then I would hand it over to Alex in the meanwhile to talk some more.
All right, thanks, Nurja. So yeah, I'll start sharing again.
Hang on, I am, yep.
Okay, awesome. All right. Okay, so moving on from the server stuff, as Anuja mentioned, we have this plus menu where you have all your most common options to create content. So just to review like a few of the differences here, we have this top part is like all the different designer options that we have available. So if you might be familiar with the older homepage, we just had the ability to create a new visualization or assemble visualizations when you would take your charts and reports and you would combine them together into a page. We've also added a new designer document mode. So designer has that supported as well. You can author charts and reports within the document and also arrange them onto multiple pages. And we also, this is the one that I'm like very excited about, is we have this like new portal editor. I'll actually bring that up because I think I have one, and hopefully, oops, we'll see if the content is like current on this. Makes it very easy. You can see I've got like a subfolder here. Very easily drag and drop stuff just into the portal editor. Super fast and easy. If you remember previously, you had to like rearrange the folder structure and understand at what level you were putting everything at. And even other than that, we had like portal pages in our V3 portal that we call it. The like BI dashboard features that were like a fully separate tool. So I think this has been like greatly streamlined. And it's all available from the plus menu. So it doesn't actually matter what view you're in. I can still get there at any time and create content from there. As opposed to, for example, the legacy homepage, I would have to select the folder that I wanted to create my stuff in and then I have this like new menu that I would need to like navigate through. And when I tried to create an item, we would like prompt you then to select like the server and the application path that you wanted to use. So this is now associated with the folders, so it's much simplified from a workflow perspective. And same here, we've added those two new options, as I mentioned, for portals and documents. So that is one area where we've kind of like streamlined things, made it more available. And if you wanted to use some of those like older tools that you might be familiar with, for example, Info Assist, you can still access that. You would go into the application directory just like you would from like this homepage here or from the legacy homepage. So you'll see how similar this UI is. It's basically the same application. Sorry, I've been saying application directories, same workspaces view that we had previously. And so we have our Info Assist options. The one that I use most often is like the text editor option is here as well. So we've been moving some of these things into the plus menu, so we'll probably continue to do that. But for now, like we have our like newest stuff, like the designer stuff, up here for quick access. So now here that I'm in the workspaces area, just to show off some of the features that we have available. One of the first things you might notice is like how easy it is to identify the different types of content that I have here. In the legacy homepage, I'll show the same directory. I have a lot of items here, and it can be kind of hard to tell like what's what. And so now in this view, I can switch between grid and tile view. The grid view actually includes some kind of like extra information that I can use to quickly identify which items I want. I can sort based on various criteria that I have here. I can even customize the list of columns that I have available. And same with this list view, I can change the sorting and I can quickly see like what type of item each one is. You may also be familiar with an option that we had to change the thumbnail. So these are all default thumbnails based on the type of content that I have, but we do have an option to customize that thumbnail as well to make it even easier to identify specific items in this workspaces view. So a lot of enhancements that are here, especially compared to the legacy homepage. And if you are using this new homepage, then you'll be right at home here in the workspaces view because it is basically the same. We just made like a couple small enhancements. For example, if you're an admin, you'll see this option here rather than on the menu. So overall, it's largely the same. By the way, we also have like drag and drop and stuff like this that was not as easy to use in the legacy homepage either. So yeah, a lot of customization available here. And then we also have our search option. This is a way that'll make it even easier to find your content that's in your workspaces or even on the reporting server. You see that I have this data option. I can even search for server items. And so if you don't even remember what folder it's in, you can use this search to very quickly find your content. And I can filter it again by where this is located, whether it's in the repository on the workspaces or if it's on the server. But yeah, this makes it very easy to find my content no matter where it's located. And I can, change my view in here as well. And if I find the item that I'm looking for example, this one, I can click this locate item option. It'll take me back to the place where it's located. So in this case, that was a server item. So I can very easily get there. So that's another way that it becomes a little bit easier to find and manage your content that you want to edit or that you even just want to view. So this search is like powered by like a open source like search engine that we have. So it's like has much more robust set of options than some of the older searches that we had. For example, we did have a like search filter available here, but it didn't have like the extra filtering capabilities, filtering by like which workspace and which reporting server and some of the extra criteria that we have available here. So that's like a big enhancement that we've made. And then another improvement that we've made that makes it easier to find your content is we have this home view. The home view is pretty similar to the home view, or at least it has a lot of shared information that we had in the home view in this home page. But a couple of enhancements that we made is that you can very easily see all the views listed on the left here. And the Explorer view on the right is the same one that you'll see in the rest of the hub. So you don't need to like use the carousel anymore. And this legacy homepage, you had to scroll way down, and I don't think we had a recents view in this one. So this makes it easy to find your most recent items that you've used. So if you remember that you used an item, but you don't remember where it's located, you can easily find it here. We have our shared with me. So this is like other users' private stuff that they have shared with me. I'm logged in as the admin. So some other user has shared this with me. I have my workspace. So you remember just a second ago, I showed you the stuff that was in my workspace. We've got 405 items in there. So this makes a little bit more digestible view of all that stuff, very quick and easy to access if I don't feel like going into the workspaces view and seeing everything. I have my favorites listed here. It's very easy to favorite an item, no matter where you are, and that includes in the search area. It's like very easily, let me find an item that is in the repository. There you go. Very easy to like add to favorites, and then it's indicated by the little star here. And those will all show up here. So again, making it easy to get to the content that you find most interesting or useful. This getting started here is an admin console setting that you can use to put any folder that you want in this home view. So if you have like a set of pre-configured content that you think would be useful for your users to specifically see, you can set that up there, and then it will show up in this home view. This was something that we implemented for this this older homepage, and it showed up here. So we brought that forward into the hub as well. And then finally, one new thing that we added is the Reportcaster Explorer. You may remember that you had to open this tools menu and click Reportcaster status, and it opened a new window. But we have a brand new UI actually for that now that shows up in the home view. This is what it used to look like. And now Anuja will show you what it looks like now and how it works.
Thanks, Alex. Let me quickly share the screen. So here we have the Reportcaster Explorer right here. And you can see that we've added a brand new filter bar over here that helps you organize and search your files more efficiently. You can filter between different types of Reportcaster assets that you could possibly have: schedules, distribution list, access list. And you would be able to, I do not have many files, but you can filter by owners. You could set a specific date and time when you want to search your schedules or particular files within. We've also got additional filters that you could search and filter your schedules with distribution methods, the status, priority, and so on. And then when it comes to schedules, we've also added the ability to create schedules in your plus menu right here. So you have this section over here in the sense of Reportcaster that allows you to create a schedule. And you have this open up right here within the hub as a brand new dialog box. You can add your tasks, different types of tasks over here with a report or sort of procedure schedule. You could create distribution methods, recurrences. We have a refreshed UI and a more better user experience for you to create your schedules and manage them. And you also can create your distribution list from right here in the plus menu. You can select the type of distribution method you want to create your list for, and then go ahead and you could import a list as well. Similarly, you can also create your access list from right here in the plus menu. And access list is basically adding WebFOCUS users into this. And when it comes to the Reportcaster console, we have in the management center, we moved it in here where you have your client administration and server administration combined. And you can find the Reportcaster console and the admin console under the client administration sector. And you can configure and check your details that you want to check, whatever it is, updates you want to do. And that's a redesigned version of Reportcaster. Previously, it stayed over here within these aspects where you had to go inside tools and find them, and you would have to right click on something and then schedule, and then you would get a particular be able to create schedules. And in the legacy homepage, similarly, you would have to right click on a particular file over here, and then you would be able to create a schedule. I'm not sure why the option is not visible here, but that's how it's. You create
Try
a
the report there, the revenue flow one. Oh yeah, you got that one there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can schedule another schedule as well. Oh yeah, maybe yeah.
Yeah, but it should. Yeah, but for some reason I'm not able to see this option. But
Hmm.
I mean, at least you can open the schedules right here. So okay, when you compare this look to this, we've put significant effort in redesigning this workflow and making sure that you have a more streamlined user experience and easy to use. And to talk more about the other options in Management Center we have, I'm going to hand it over to Alex. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Nuja. Yes, so I will share that. And the main theme with the admin stuff is that whereas previously, I will show the workflow. Basically, any administrator is probably familiar with this. You'd have to open a new window that had the admin console in it. And another aspect of this was that our server admin stuff and this is the client admin options were in separate locations. So this is how I would get to the reporting server console. And then I could go over to, let's say this is usually where I do most of the admin on the reporting server side. So you had like two separate windows that you had to manage and you had to know how to get to each one. Oh, and there's also security center was also separate. So we had 3 plus multiple different areas that you had to go to manage your options. And we have actually greatly simplified that by bringing this all together into what we call the management center. So from the client perspective, we still have the same admin console. We periodically make updates to that by adding new options and that kind of thing. But admin console is here. We have the security center where you can manage your users just like before. So the features in here have not changed. You'll have the same set of features that you had previously, but very easy to access in this option from the sidebar. You have our CM package management options. This is also a separate window, which I forgot to mention as well. So here you have your list of CM packages together. No need to open a separate window for that. And we have our server administration options together in the same place as well. So if you have multiple reporting servers, you can select which one you're using from this dropdown. So that makes it easy to manage from that perspective. So you don't need to wonder which reporting server you're actually managing at any given time. But we have all our different sections of the server available from here. So you have our server user configuration, server workspaces that I showed just a moment ago. This is where you would do some of a little bit of security configuration, some of the viewing logs, managing performance, that kind of thing you would do from this area. And that also includes some data processing configuration, that kind of thing. We have Resource Analyzer, Resource Governor also available from this area. So if you've been using that, that is still available from here. If you are not, I definitely recommend it. I think it's a very useful tool to see some of your server resource usage and other user metrics. That's available here as well. And then we have some of these other more advanced features available here too. So this is kind of some user privilege stuff. And the last thing I want to mention that's available in this administration or management center, as we're calling it, is this white labeling feature. So this is a new feature from, I think, 9.1. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But this is a great feature that allows you to do some rebranding of all of WebFOCUS without having it's very easy to use interface without having to do any like custom coding or anything like that. So you can go in, you can upload new logos to use in different areas. So you can see that I've added one for this main banner here. And I've also added one that's used specifically in this other homepage here. Designer and the reporting server each have their own white labeling options. You probably saw previously that that's the reporting or reportcaster configuration. Probably saw here that some of the other areas inherit this as well. So here's like the older homepage. Here's designer, for example, where we also get white labeling. So it applies universally, like across WebFOCUS, so that branding is carried over to all the different interfaces, at least the ones that have been like updated to use our new design system. And it's very easy to change this stuff. Go in and just set your colors. Very easily like download this set of colors. You can upload like a different one if you have multiple available. I'll do it really quickly because I've got a whole bunch here just to show how easy this is. Let me see, I'll do this one. Very easy. And then if you want, you can publish it to everybody using this publish option. So it makes it very fast and easy to update this stuff. And everyone likes customization, so thought I would call that out. In fact, actually, Renee did a session, Renee from support, she did a session on Friday. I think it was the Focus Friday covering white labeling. So if you want more information about this feature, you can go check that out. I think that will be up on our set of IBI resources on the website, I think, as well as YouTube. I believe those go up there as well. If not, we should definitely put that up there.
They are, Alex.
Just what I thought. Awesome. So, yeah, I think that covers just about everything. The only other thing I'd point out is that we still have these banner menus just like before. So the extra stuff that doesn't fit in any of these categories that was also previously in these banner menus, you'll find here. So that includes like the help, information about the build, and some of this other more advanced stuff that you'll be used to finding in these menus too. So overall, I would say we have shifted a few things around, but I think thematically we've kept things in this more or less the same places they were before. Compared to the legacy homepage, we've made it more convenient to access a lot of these things, fewer clicks, more economical use of space. That was always the complaint I had about the legacy homepage, that we had all this empty space that we weren't using. So now we're using it for our file explorer, which is much easier to identify the different items in your WebFOCUS environment. And overall, I think hopefully made things more convenient to access. And so even though it's a little bit of a change from our previous layout, hopefully it is a good one for you guys. So I guess we'll move on to questions.
Yeah, you guys have quite a few in here.
Yes.
I'm gonna go, let's go, if you both could pull up the Q&A as well. And let's start from the top.
Okay.
Is there any intent to revisit the design of the new Reportcaster, specifically the section where you set parameters? The older version of Reportcaster was better laid out in that respect, as the parameters were immediately visible to the user, while now you need to scroll down in the window to get them, so they can be easily missed. Even bringing the parameters section to the top of the window or making them a separate setting option would go a long way.
So yeah, I think, yeah, we're definitely always open to feedback on that stuff. Maybe Anuja, because she's worked on Reportcaster a little bit, maybe she has some input on that.
I think I would like to ask a little bit more in detail about specifically, are you talking about parameters that you added in a task when you create the schedule? Are we referring to those parameters? In that scenario, we've not really changed the layout much. So if I could just quickly share my screen and show you how it is today. We are right here, we're in the schedule for Reportcaster, and you can create your report from right here, and you have your parameters here. And it's the same view as we had on the older version of Reportcaster, just with the refreshed UI in this scenario. So you would still be able to get all your parameters similarly the way you did in the previous version of Podcaster. Haven't really changed that process or format. So I'm not sure if I've answered your question, but feel free to let me know if I got it right.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Anuja. Well, oh, sorry, Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. No, yeah, thanks for that answer. But I would also say, yeah, I mean, we're definitely open to feedback on any usability enhancements. If there's any of these options that you guys are using more often that maybe we didn't realize like how often it was used, we can shift around the how we show this stuff and make it more accessible. So yeah, definitely always appreciate your guys' feedback, especially on UI things.
Yeah.
Next question, is there a way for an individual user to save their display options so that if they want to see a list rather than icons, or want to customize what fields they want to see, they don't have to reselect those options every time they clear their browser, cache, or cookies?
Yeah, so I think so we do save like the state. So if you change from tile view to list view, we do save that. But it might be saving as a cookie. I can find out how that is currently being handled. I do know the other thing is that moving forward, we do want to implement more specific user settings that you can control, like not via cookies, but through actual settings like in the client through an interface, kind of similar to how we handle like your language settings. And I think there may be a couple others that we have in the client right now. So that would definitely be something that maybe we can take a look at that as well. Like if you always prefer list view, shouldn't have to like reset it for each different area of the hub, like I believe you do today. And again, as you mentioned, like gets cleared out when you clear your cache or cookies. So that would definitely be a good candidate for that kind of enhancement moving forward.
Great. It looks like the next two might kind of go together here. So why does recently worked on not show every file I've edited recently? And then they go on to explain looks like you don't have any items to view in their workspace. Does it only show workspace with certain types of items?
Sure. So for recently, I believe we have a limit that we have imposed in the backend. So that's something that we can think about, like whether I think it might be like the most recent X number of items, but it might also be time-based. I can find out from our engineering team how we had that set. Because I do not recall, but I think we had talked about possibly increasing that because even on mine, which I use, let me know if I'm sharing my screen.
Yep.
Yeah, good. Even on mine, like I use a lot of files. I've only got like 13. This might be from like the past month or something. So we could definitely look into like extending that or even providing an option to set what counts as like recent. And then but I guess to clarify as of right now, it's just like set to like whatever that period of time is. So that would explain why I don't have a last viewed column. I don't think that would show, but yeah, that is why only certain things show up in your most recent view. And then as far as my workspace goes, here you can see I've got 405 items. What this is doing is this is going through all of the different my content folders. I think it might just be the my workspace, my content folder. But anyway, it's pulling from this type of folder here, which is like a private folder. So it works a little bit differently from a regular workspace folder like this one, where I can like publish items for different users. This stuff is all private to me, so I can like share with different users instead. So it's like a little bit different paradigm that we had implemented, but you can see this like shared icon that causes stuff to appear in the shared with me section for other users. So my workspace is kind of like my personal version of that. So if you don't have content in this folder, then it will not appear in my workspace.
Alex, they just added in as you're showing this right now, they just added a comment that they have files that they worked on yesterday that don't show up on a recently worked on, but files they worked on a few days ago will show up.
Interesting. Yeah, let me find out. I can let me talk to our engineering team and see like what maybe for whatever reason our like modified date isn't tracking for certain items or something. Let me Let me look into that for sure.
Yeah, if I can jump in here, Sarah,
Yeah.
if you open up a ticket with support as well, it sounds like there's something unexpected going on in your environment overall. And so if you start with a support ticket, we can get that connected with Alex and the engineering team and be able to get back to you after the session.
Thank you for that, Angie.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
Okay, guys, back to some more questions here. How is App Studio integrated?
Okay. So App Studio uses the same repository that is used here, as well as the same application directories. So as long as you're connecting to the same environment, you'll see the same content. So if I were to open App Studio, I would see all these items in there as well. I believe I saw another question related to HTML pages. So the WebFOCUS, I guess I would call it the WebFOCUS client, using it as a generic term. So like the hub or the other home pages do not have an HTML canvas like App Studio had. Let me see if I can find some of those content items. So you would only be able to edit those as a text file. I think this would find my App Studio pages. Yeah, so these are things that I made in App Studio. So there's no like HTML canvas here, so you would still need to use App Studio to edit those using the GUI, which I would definitely recommend. I would not recommend editing these as text, but you can still see them here in the hub as well. So they're still visible, but so here's like that page that I had. So it's the same repository. So if you're creating reports and charts and that kind of thing, still access those. And you can create charts and reports like in the hub, and App Studio will be able to access them. The only difference is that, again, we don't have an HTML page canvas in the hub. So we are kind of have replaced the functionality with designer pages. We're continuing to make enhancements to that functionality to bring it to parity with App Studio, but that would be the basic answer to that question.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next question. Still using, did you just touch on this around the HTML with legacy?
Yes, I think I might have, covered that one. Was the basic question like, how do I edit my HTML pages in the home page? Was that the gist of it?
Switch to legacy view from the hub. Do not see how to modify or create HTML. Can I do this?
Right.
Yes, yeah.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, only App Studio has like an HTML canvas, or I guess Dev Studio technically, but I don't, hopefully no one's using that anymore. But yeah, so yeah, we are making enhancements to designer pages to support those like same options. But yes, if you have existing HTML pages, then you would have to continue using App Studio to edit those as HTML pages.
Okay. Quickly, just because this is a question from the same person and we were just talking about that, is there a 9.3.3 version of App Studio?
There is a 9.3 App Studio. I don't know how many changes we made to App Studio. We've kind of, maybe Angie can explain this in a little bit more precise language than I can, but we are not making new feature enhancements to App Studio, but we, I think, have been fixing some critical bugs and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So App Studio is still included in 9.3.3. It's still available for download. You can still use it to connect to WebFOCUS. But in general, in terms of development, the new features are going to go into Designer. And then if there's any defects, though, that you're finding in App Studio, are still evaluating those.
Thanks, Angie.
All right. Is there a dark mode theme for the hub?
There is not a built-in dark mode. So you would need to use these like white labeling options and kind of mess around with those to get something close to dark mode. I have messed around with this in various ways. So we've made some fixes, by the way, to this to some of these. We had like a couple areas where we had some like stuff that was permanently white background. We've fixed this in our development track, so we'll be trying to get that into a future release. But overall, I would say like 90% you can use WebFOCUS in dark mode. Keep in mind like a few things like the canvas in Designer. If my theme is like a light theme, then it's gonna really clash with the dark mode. But we do package a like dark theme that you can use in Designer. So if you use that, or if you have your own dark theme, then you can have a nice dark view throughout the entire product. But yeah, you can see like in general, like you can create a like dark mode as long as you use the white labeling features and understand like what these different options represent. You'll want to make sure that your text color, like this primary color text, you want to set this to a light color, and you'll want your like background stuff, your primary color light. And I think there's this primary color paper, these types of things, you'll want them to be dark. Possibly I could share this file just to give like an example of how you might start to do like a dark mode type of thing. But yeah, so the other thing that I would note is we only support one white labeling theme at a time. So like you set this is like the theme. So to toggle back and forth, an admin would need to like upload the like light theme again. We're looking into like options to like provide multiple themes that you can pick between. But that would be, I guess, like a future enhancement that we're taking a look at. So hopefully that answers the question about dark mode. But I do know a lot of people like dark mode, myself included. So this is something that we've been looking at for a while.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. Paul, you are asking about updates in Designer 9.3. Paul, I will be happy to send you some previous recordings for anything that we've covered in Designer for the last 8 to 10 months, because that would show any of the 9.3 updates. So I will happily pull those and send those to you. Let's see, Michelle. Okay, Alex, you're probably gonna have to take this one. In the Explore data, ask a question. Is the search bar supposed to be written in an SQL-like code? And then she's getting that long error.
Okay. So the answer is no. You're supposed to just use like kind of like basic language type stuff like I don't know, product category or quantity sold by product category, that kind of thing. Just like basic English. I know we have been making enhancements to the NLQ model that we use. And I guess as far as if you're getting errors, maybe support can help get those reported, and we can take a look at what is going on there. Looking at that, it looks like a parser error. But yeah, maybe support might be able to help you if report that as a bug. It would be good for us to look into that so we can support more different use cases. And yeah, again, like with the newer model that we've been working on, it should support like a greater variety of, I guess, English phrasing. So you don't need to be quite so specific with those queries.
Yeah, I'm going to add on to that as well, because Michelle, I see your second note that you tried the basic English and it didn't work. The error message you're getting, my first reaction is maybe there's something wrong with the way the DSML services or NLQ is configured, and that may be why you're getting the error message. So support can definitely help with that as well. But the goal of it is that you can type in English and get your results back. So if that's not working for you, there's definitely something to look into that probably needs to get fixed.
You both?
It's-
Let's see here. Anuja, this might come back to you on the parameter question you answered earlier. Now that they've gotten to the section when setting the parameter properties for a task, the dropdown itself for a variable isn't visible at the very bottom, but the repeat task checkbox is further down and requires the scroll bar.
Repeat task. Oh, here. So essentially you're trying to, you could possibly extend your pop-up. Let me share my screen so we can refer to what I'm talking about. Yeah. So here, when you your parameters, yes, you have the repeat task checkbox over right here. You necessarily might, so by default, the pop-up is a bit shorter than what you expect, but I mean, I'm using a large monitor, so it appears more easily, but for most monitors, screens are 13-inch laptops and 15 laptops, the fit is not quite right. So we have default size pop-up that you can maximize in use, so you don't have to scroll every time. So you can adjust the size of it as per your screen size that you have available. But by default, we've kept it a bit short, so it would fit a major number of screen sizes that our users use that are mostly 13-inch laptops. That was the idea behind having that. Um, does that I hope that answers your question.
Well, we'll see what he says from that.
Yeah.
Let's see, another question. Robbie was told by support creating schedules in App Studio is no longer supported. Is this correct?
I would need to check App Studio to see. It might be something because I think it always opened a new window with Reportcaster in it. So that might be why. So like you might need to go into the hub to create schedules now because we've updated Reportcaster. So it may work differently than it did before. So yes, I would say probably support is correct about that, which is to say like it's not the interface might only be available from the hub. Kind of similar like that the HTML canvas is only in App Studio. It might be that Reportcaster is only like in the client-based homepages now. That might be the reason for that.
Thank you. Is there any training available for migrating our legacy reports to WebFOCUS Designer?
Interesting. Yes, so I can give some insight on that. So we tried to cover a lot of the hold scenarios as far as Designer being able to directly open IA reports. And if those legacy reports are created by hand or in App Studio, then Designer may not support them. But that is a good idea of something that I should look into. I sometimes provide some like kind of training material and that kind of thing. So I know that the kind of like Designer data flow kind of like hold file functionality is something that is a big change from how we used to handle joins and hold files and that kind of thing. So if we do not have materials, that is something to put on my list to kind of cover. I don't know of anything in particular though covering that particular topic, at least as far as the Designer content that I've worked on recently.
Like you
Angie,
said,
I don't know if you're
something-
familiar with anything related to that, but that would be my response to that question.
Something noted that we can maybe get created.
Yes.
Okay, Anuja, it looks like that did answer William's question for you. So he said, thank you. Setting a new default would be helpful if possible as we deal with varied clients. And it's hard to ask to do extras. So good there. Let's see. Do we plan on including App Studio training in the mix?
Yeah, I can jump in and answer this one. So Eric, overall, App Studio hasn't changed too much since the like previous training that was available before. So in that sense, you can use the existing training that's there. Like I mentioned earlier, all of our new features are really going into Designer. So a lot of the new training you'll see is going to be on those new features in Designer. And then there will be some old App Studio training as well.
Thank you, Angie. He said, rock on.
Awesome.
And Margaret, we have that noted from you as well. Thank you. We will make note of your request as well.
Yeah, I would just note in the chat if you just want to mention for anyone that is looking for that kind of material, if you're mostly going from like IA or App Studio to Designer, or if you guys have like hand-coded stuff that you're trying to like modernize in Designer, that would be helpful to know kind of like what kind of material would be most useful for you guys.
That was some great questions, guys. Any other questions for Alex or Anusha? Eric's coming with a question on Reportcaster. Wonder if I could just unmute him. Would that be easier? Eric, would you mind if I just unmuted you? You could ask aloud.
Oh, wow. I don't know if we ever done this before.
I know, we're opening up. Okay, Eric,
This is your
you are
turn.
able to talk.
Yeah, thank you. My fingers were tripping all over themselves. Question for you on the Reportcaster side of things. Any thoughts on like putting together like a GUI interface so that you could see everything that's scheduled for like a single day and like almost like a workflow fashion, or not a workflow, but like a flow chart fashion?
I'm
So
not
you could kind of see where each individual job is, when it's scheduled, what its predecessors are, what its, the following things are, so on and so forth.
so in hang on, let me share my screen and show that we don't have a GUI as such. I mean, like a dashboard kind of what you're suggesting, but with the way we've designed the Reportcaster Explorer is that you could select who's the owner of the particular schedule. You could select a particular date and range of the time, and there's a custom date range you could set up to view the schedules on. It's not a default for you, but you could filter it today. You could also further filter down to the method or the job status that you're looking for. And you could also select the priority and you could filter it down. So you could actually get a very filtered view of the schedules that you're looking for. But I don't think we have today a default version of today's schedules, though it sounds like a great idea. And I know our PM has ideas about that, but it's probably something that we would like an enhancement that we're probably looking at next year or some maybe later. But
Yeah.
you could certainly drill down using filters as much as possible to get a very custom view that you're looking for.
So yeah, I would say just to add on to that. So in the more filters, you had like next runtime, I think,
Yeah,
option there. So you could filter for like stuff that's going to be running today or something, or like within the next week.
Yeah.
But I do think that it would be very nice to have like, what are my next,
Yeah.
next 10 jobs that are going to be running?
Yeah.
And I don't think the RC console has that. I think it just has logs of previous run jobs. So yeah, no,
Yeah,
definitely whether we put that in the RC Explorer or an enhancement for the RC console. Yeah, I think that would definitely be a helpful enhancement. We can definitely pass that on to the PM for that feature.
absolutely.
Thank you for that, Eric. All right, guys, any other questions for our presenters today? Eric got all the questions asked. All right. Well, if there are no other questions, then we will go ahead and start to wrap up. So again, guys, just as a reminder, everything was recorded today. So I will, I will send out a copy of the recording by tomorrow, along with any presentation materials that Alex and Anuja can share with you guys. So that will be included in that. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions for us, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help. I thank you so much, Alex. Thank you, Anuja, for presenting today. Great material, great content. And with that, I will give you guys a little bit of your day back, and we will see you next month for our April user group. So everyone take care.